Hey everybody, up there at the end of this computer screen. My name is Gary Smith, harmonica player out here on the West Coast in the San Francisco Bay Area, San Jose, California. What we're doing here today, I'm over at my buddy Aki Kumar's house, and we are doing a little video demonstration of this amplifier right here that I'm very excited about. All you harp tone junkies. This is a new amp from Stage 5 Amps, Rick Davis's company in Wyoming. He's the guy that brought us the Memphis Blues amps, the Memphis Mini and the Memphis 20. Also the Stage 5 amp, which I think is still out, a little 5-watt beast. But this is the amp that I kind of been waiting for somebody to make. It's a 15-watt hand-wired amp by Tone Meister Bruce Collins, who has his own company, Mission Amps, in Colorado. 15 watts, two 6v6s, and the thing that I really have been hoping that somebody would come out with is an Octal Preamp. This has a 6 SL7 preamp tube, and for all you guys who are hip to that, that's a really nice fat octal tone tube like they used to use in the early Fender circuits before the little 7-pin tubes came out. They also make another model of this amp that comes with the smaller tube, a 12AY7 or 12AX7, and there are a few other options available with this amp. This version of the amp comes cathode biased, the term that they use. The other form of biasing an amp is called fixed bias, which means you can fix it at a certain point. The amp sounds a little different depending on the way it's biased. The fixed bias is a little punchier of a sound, and I think maybe that if you use a 12AY7 or a 57512, it's going to sound a little bit more aggressive, a little bit louder. That doesn't bother me. The benefit of having the cathode biased amp is, to my ear, a lot sweeter sound, and for all you happy tube rollers out there, you don't have to take the back off and hook up the meter because it's biased automatically just by changing the tubes. So it's kind of a tube roller's paradise in that respect. And it's got one 10-inch speaker. I think there are a few options that you can get. I opted for the Weber Alnico speaker in the old school style. Rick actually tried out a couple of different variations of their speaker and decided this one was the old school tone. That's what we're going for here. You know, Stage 5 amps are going for the Chicago blues tone. And that's the tone I like. So anyway, I'm going to play it straight through here. It sounds real good with little effects pedals. I have a Fender reissue reverb tank that I'm going to turn up in a little while, but I'd like you to just kind of hear the straight sound of the raw amp. If you could, I'm just going to improvise a little bit. If something good comes out, hooray. to my ear, that's a nice tone. I hope it's coming through the combination of mics and circuits that we got, because that's what we really want to get is the real sound of this amp. Now, if you're looking at the dials, it's barely cracked open. It's right about 9 o'clock on the volume and just a little more than that on the tone control. This amp can really open up a little bit more. I'm going to do that in a minute. I'd like to talk a little bit about Bruce's exclusively designed tone control. As far as I know, this is a unique circuit. It's not a copy of a Fender Deluxe or a Masco, but it has elements of both of those in its sound. Like I said, the tone control is a one knob tone control. A lot of guys have had experiences with, you know, Princetons and Tweed Deluxes that are just a one tone control. This isn't exactly like that, you know. I've played with a lot of those tone controls to a point where I understand them. This is, I'm not sure what it is, but it's really different, and it's really variable. You know, every degree gives you a little bit different tone. And for a 110 amp, I think it sounds a lot bigger than 110. I think it sounds a lot more like a 12. So let me just goose it up just a little bit. I haven't really had any feedback problems with it. That's another good thing I noticed, is I had it really up high, standing a distance away from it, of course, but it was nowhere near the brink of feedback. So I think they nailed a little bit of that with it too. So here's just a little bit more of the straight amp sound. Now don't scream so loud. So I like that tone right there. Woo! That was even, Yaki says, whoa! So, like I said, I just goosed it up maybe just 1/2 of the number and put quite a bit more hair on it. I'd like you guys to hear how it processes a tube effects like a Fender Reverb tank, which is what I like to use live more than a lot of the pedals. The pedals that I've used sound okay, but a lot of times in the club, they're a little squirrely, you know, the echoes and the reverbs and stuff. The tank is nice and reliable. But having said that, I have used a couple of the little micro pedals on it at home, and they really sound good too. So here's some reverb for you. I think that might give you some of the sound that you can get out of this amp. Like I said, it's real versatile. It's got a line out in the back. It's got an extension speaker out in the back. I tell you, if you really want to hear something big, I plugged this into a big, large Bandmaster size cabinet with 2 speakers in it. Man, 15 watts driving 210s was pretty tough, man. So anyway, Stage5amps.com is where you want to go. You want to talk to Mr. Rick Davis. And these amps, I don't think are too many of them out already. This is number 11. I don't know if there are any other ones on the West Coast, but let me say this right now. If there are any West Coast players in the Northern California area who would like to come check this out in person, with maybe you might want to buy one, we can hook you up. We can hook you up, and I'll even give you a special little deal if you come visit old Grandpa Gary. All right, stage5amps.com.